Why you keep overspending even when you know better. You know exactly how much is in your checking account. You know the $6 coffee adds up. You know that food delivery fee is basically a tax on your laziness. You know you don't need another hoodie. You know all of it, and you bought it anyway. If you've ever sat there after a purchase, staring at your banking app, thinking, why did I just do that? I know better. I want you to hear this clearly. It's not because you're bad with money. It's not because you're lazy or weak or irresponsible. Overspending when you know better isn't a math problem. It's not even really a money problem. It's a psychology problem wearing a money costume. Today I'm breaking down the real reasons your brain overrides your budget, even when you have every intention of sticking to it. And more importantly, what actually works to fix it. Not just try harder, not make a budget. You've probably already made 5 of those. We're going deeper than that. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand your own spending in a way that finally makes sense. Let's get into it. Quick example before we dive in. Say it's a Tuesday night. You had a rough day, nothing dramatic, just one of those days that wears you down. You open your phone to just look at something, and 40 minutes later you've placed an order you didn't plan on making that morning. The next day, looking at the receipt, you genuinely can't explain it to yourself. That gap between the person who planned the budget and the person who broke it is exactly what we're going to unpack. Section 1. The myth we need to kill first. Let's start by clearing something up, because this is where most personal finance content gets it wrong. The dominant story about overspending is people spend too much because they don't understand money. Learn the difference between a want and a need. Learn compound interest. Learn to read a budget spreadsheet. Problem solved. Except, that's not what's actually happening for most people watching this. You already know a want from a need. You've probably watched budgeting videos, downloaded the apps, maybe even built a beautiful color-coded spreadsheet that lasted exactly 9 days. You are not short on financial information. Information was never the missing piece. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Knowledge and behavior live in 2 different parts of your brain, and they don't always talk to each other. Knowing that you shouldn't spend $80 on a night out lives in your prefrontal cortex, the rational, planning, thinking about the future part of your brain. But the actual decision to spend, in the moment, often gets made somewhere else entirely, in the emotional, reward-driven part of your brain that just wants to feel better. Right now, when those 2 systems disagree, emotion tends to win, not because you're weak-willed, but because that's how human brains are built. This is true for almost everyone, in almost every area of self-control: eating, scrolling, spending. Willpower is not a character trait you either have or don't. It's a limited resource, and modern life is designed to drain it constantly. So if you've been beating yourself up, thinking, I just need more discipline, that's actually the wrong diagnosis. And a wrong diagnosis means the treatment won't work either. Section 2. The real reasons you overspend. Let's break down the actual mechanisms. I'm going to walk through 5 of the biggest drivers of overspending, and I'd put money on at least 2 of these describing you specifically. 1. Spending as emotional regulation. This is the big one. For a huge number of people, spending isn't about the item at all. It's about the feeling the purchase creates. Stressful day at work? A purchase gives you a small hit of control in a day where you felt like you had none. Feeling lonely or bored? Shopping, even just browsing, activates the reward centers of your brain similarly to other pleasurable activities. Feeling anxious about money itself. Ironically, spending can be a way of temporarily not thinking about money because the purchase gives you something else to focus on. This is sometimes called retail therapy, but that name makes it sound harmless and cute. In reality, it's a coping mechanism, the same category of behavior as stress eating or doom scrolling. It works in the short term. It creates a small emotional relief, and then, 20 minutes later, the relief is gone and the bill is still there. If you've ever noticed that you spend more on hard days than on calm ones, this is very likely what's happening. 2. Lifestyle creep. This one is quieter, and it's sneaky specifically because it never feels like a decision. Lifestyle creep is when your spending rises to match your income, almost automatically, without you ever consciously choosing it. You get a raise, and within a few months, somehow, you're not saving more, you're just living slightly more expensively. A nicer apartment, more takeout, slightly better everything. None of these individual choices feel reckless in the moment. That's the trap. Each one is small and justifiable on its own. I got a raise, I deserve this. But stacked together over a year or two, they quietly eat every dollar of increased income, and you end up in the exact same financial position you were in before, just with nicer stuff and the same amount of stress. 3. Present bias. Your brain is wired to massively overvalue right now compared to the future. This is called present bias, and it's one of the most well-documented patterns in behavioral economics. $50 spent today feels real, immediate, and vivid. $50 saved toward a goal 6 months from now feels abstract and distant, almost like it's happening to a different person. Your brain literally processes future you more like a stranger than like yourself. So when it's a choice between making current you happy right now or helping a vague, distant future you, current you tends to win, even when you know the math doesn't favor that choice. This is exactly why just think about your future goals doesn't work as motivation in the moment of a purchase decision. Your brain isn't built to weigh that comparison fairly. 4. Social comparison. We are constantly, passively comparing our financial lives to everyone around us, friends, coworkers, and especially people online whose highlight reels we mistake for their full financial reality. You don't see your friend's credit card balance. You don't see the coworker's family loan. You just see the vacation photos, the new car, the renovated kitchen, and your brain quietly recalibrates what feels normal to spend, based on a completely distorted sample of other people's actual financial lives. This is a huge, underestimated driver of overspending, especially for anyone active on social media, which, let's be honest, is basically everyone. 5. Decision fatigue. The average adult makes hundreds of small decisions a day. By the evening, your capacity for careful, deliberate decision-making is measurably lower than it was in the morning. This is why so much impulse spending happens late at night, scrolling in bed, adding things to a cart just to look, and checking out 20 minutes later. It's not a coincidence. Your defenses are simply lower by that point in the day. There's actually a well-known finding from behavioral research involving judges deciding parole cases throughout the day. Favorable rulings were far more common right after a break than right before one, simply because decision-making quality degrades with fatigue, regardless of how important the decision is. Your 11 p.m. spending decisions are being made by a measurably worse-equipped version of your brain than your 9 a.m. decisions. That's not an excuse. It's just useful information, because it tells you exactly when to build in extra protection. A quick word on shame. Before we move to solutions, one more thing needs to be said clearly. None of these 5 patterns make you broken, undisciplined, or bad with money. They make you human. Every single one of these mechanisms exists because, evolutionarily, they were useful. Quick reward-seeking, present-focused thinking, fitting in with the group. The problem isn't that these instincts exist. The problem is that they're now colliding with a modern world engineered, quite deliberately, by very well-paid people to exploit exactly these instincts for profit. One-click checkout, infinite scroll, countdown timers on sales. You're not failing at willpower. You're being out-designed by entire product teams whose job is to make spending frictionless. Keep that in mind, because it changes the entire framing of what fixing this actually looks like. Section 3. Why just try harder doesn't work. Now that you've seen the actual mechanisms, it should be obvious why just have more willpower or just be more disciplined fails as advice. Telling someone to white-knuckle their way through emotional spending, lifestyle creep, present bias, social comparison, and decision fatigue all at once, using nothing but sheer willpower, is like telling someone to hold their breath through a marathon. It might work for a few minutes. It will not work for a lifetime. This is also why guilt doesn't help. Shame after a purchase. I can't believe I did that again. What's wrong with me? Doesn't build better habits. In fact, it often makes the emotional spending cycle worse, because now you have an extra bad feeling to cope with, and coping is exactly what led to the spending in the first place. We need systems that work with how your brain actually operates, not systems that require you to fight your own wiring every single day. Section 4. What actually works? Here's the part you came for. These are the strategies that address the real cause, not just the symptom. Fix #1. Add friction. If decision fatigue and impulse are working against you, the solution isn't more willpower, It's more friction. Make spending slightly harder, on purpose. Remove saved card details from shopping apps so you have to manually type them in every time. Use a 24-hour rule for any non-essential purchase over a set amount you decide on. Add it to a cart, close the tab, and if you still want it tomorrow, buy it then. This single habit alone eliminates a huge percentage of impulse purchases because most of that urge fades once the emotional trigger passes. VIX #2. Name the emotion before you buy. Before checking out, ask yourself one question. What am I actually feeling right now? Bored, stressed, sad, anxious, lonely, excited? Just naming it, even silently, does two things. It interrupts the automatic pattern, and it often reveals that the purchase was never really about the item at all. This doesn't mean you can never buy anything when you're stressed. It means you get to make that choice consciously instead of on autopilot. Fix #3. Make future you feel real. Because present bias makes your future self feel like a stranger, the fix is to make that future self feel less abstract. Give your savings goals a real name and a real picture, not savings, but emergency fund, 3 months of rent, or move out by December. Some banking apps let you create separate named savings buckets specifically for this reason. The more concrete and specific the goal, the more your brain treats it as something worth protecting right now. Fix #4. Automate the boring decisions. Since willpower is limited and decision fatigue is real, take as many spending decisions out of the moment as possible. Automatic transfers to savings on payday before you ever see the money in checking. A fixed weekly amount for discretionary spending, loaded onto a separate card or account, so once it's gone, it's gone. No decision required, no willpower needed. This is often called paying yourself first, and the psychology behind why it works is exactly what we just covered. It removes the decision from a moment when your defenses are lowest. Fix #5. Curate your inputs. If social comparison is quietly inflating your sense of normal spending, be deliberate about what you're consuming. Mute or unfollow accounts that consistently trigger a feeling of, "I should have that too." Follow people who talk openly about debt payoff, saving, and financial struggle, not to feel bad for anyone, but because it recalibrates your sense of normal in a healthier direction. VIX #6. Build a cost of a bad day alternative. Since a lot of overspending is really about emotional regulation, replace the purchase with a different, low-cost or free version of the same emotional relief. A walk, a call to a friend, a specific show you save for rough days. This isn't about suppressing the urge to feel better. It's about giving yourself a different tool that doesn't cost $80 and leave you with regret 20 minutes later. Section 5. A quick gut check before you go. I want to leave you with a simple filter you can use before any non-essential purchase. Ask yourself, am I buying this because I need or genuinely want it, or because of how I'm feeling right now? Would I still want this in 24 hours? And is this decision aligned with the goal I actually care about, or is it working against it? You don't need a perfect answer every time. You just need to start asking the question, because the moment you interrupt the automatic pattern, you get your power back. Overspending when you know better was never a character flaw. It's a predictable, well-documented pattern of human psychology. And once you understand the actual mechanism behind it, you can build a system that works with your brain instead of constantly fighting it. If this video helped something click for you, that's exactly what this channel is here for. Taking the confusing, shame-filled parts of money and turning them into something clear, actionable, and judgment-free. That's the whole point of Darkness to Light. If you want the next step, how to actually build a budget that survives contact with real life, not just the first 2 weeks, I've got a video on that, and it's the natural next watch after this one. Subscribe, turn on the bell so the next video finds you, and I'll see you in the next one.